Climate change is one of the major challenges that mankind is dealing with at this moment. And this is not only something for policymakers, but this is also something for companies. They have to step up and take their responsibility. And I see increasingly companies announcing net zero by 2050, by halving their emissions by 2030, by being very transparent on reporting via ISSB or TCFD, embracing carbon pricing, etc. And of course, there are also companies who are lagging behind or, like you said, sometimes obstructing. But I see more the opposite, that more and more companies take responsibility and take the lead. And we have embedded this, amongst others, in the CEO Climate Leaders Alliance, where 125 big companies internationally are aligned on the goals I just mentioned. So there's a lot of work to be done also, but I hope I see companies stepping up also, as it should be. Yeah, companies need to step up, step forward on their own ambitions. Net zero 2050, halving by 2030, taking actions, reporting transparently, etc. But next to the individual actions of companies, we need also a system change, and we need also companies working together. If we take one angle which can help us, circularity, companies can only make their business more circular by collaborating with other companies in the same value chain. And sometimes you need to redesign the value chain in the beginning in order to be able to recycle products at the end of the value chain. And so we need to work in industries, we need to work over value chains to achieve circularity, to work on biodiversity, and to reduce emissions, obviously. And increasingly, you see initiatives of companies doing so. So not in splendid isolation, but in collaboration with others in the industry. Well, also a company like DSM has many examples of that. And one collaboration over the value chain is Bovar, in the past called Clean Cow, a new ingredient where DSM works together with feed producers to bring this to the farmers, and where dairy companies stimulate the farmers to use those products to reduce their emissions. Yeah, thank you. I think it's an important topic, leadership. As with every development or any development in the world, there's always a small group of leaders, there's a group of laggards, and there's a big group of people who sit on the fence in between. They're not the laggards, but they're not the leaders either. And therefore, the big conferences like we have with the Climate Week in New York next week, or with the COP in Dubai in December, or with the World Economic Forum in Davos in January, or many of those other meetings where business and governments come together, are important that the leaders can step up, but the leaders can also take the big group of fence sitters with them and convince them to take a step, explain to them what kind of steps they could take, and take them along. I think it's important. And we will make clear, and we publish and share also the approaches of the leaders. They have embedded a different governance system in the board, with committees, etc., with people responsible for that in the companies, and other companies can learn from those governance models, or working on knowledge in a company, or how to embed sustainability in your business, that it is not a cost and an add-on, but a future proofing of your company, that you get the right experts in your company, that maybe you link your financial and remuneration targets to what you achieve on sustainability and climate change. So there are numerous actions that companies can take to become from a fence sitter into a leading company, and the leaders can share that with other companies, and they will, And hopefully, in those conferences, they can convince other companies to step up as well. If you want to make your organization more sustainable, of course, you need to set the direction, you need to make a vision, and you need to take actions. But also, you need to take care that you're internally well connected with all your people, that they understand what you want to do, that you take them with you. And need to take care also that you anchor it in your business, because sustainability should not be something at the extreme ends of a company, but should be in the core of your company. And you make yourself more future proof by anchoring sustainability in your business, in your operations, and make it even the way you make money. You should embrace doing well financially, economically, by doing good for the world. Climate change is a huge challenge for mankind, and it will influence people today and generations to come. And we have a responsibility as companies, as governments, as scientists to step up and to address climate change. Also via technologies and innovations. Of course, we will develop the ways how to address climate change or how to adapt ourselves to climate change. It is important that we go this direction together because nobody can be successful or call yourself successful if you operate in a world that fails. And for many countries, take for example Africa, climate change is not something of the future. They suffer already today. And we need to do it in such a way that we can get everybody along with us. And this is not a burden for middle or low incomes in a country, and that we distribute the burden of climate change amongst the population and the strongest shoulders. And that is, of course, what we need to do. Otherwise, we get only resistance. And last, also shareholders need to take up the responsibility and stimulate the companies they are invested in to take action. And if we can work together with the different stakeholders over industries, with the different interests, then I'm sure we will be able to address climate change. Once again, for people today, for generations to come, since nobody can be successful in a world that fails.